Gaining your first 1,000 followers on Instagram. Gaining your first 1,000 followers on Instagram. I know with the whole Instagram algorithm updates in 2018 and 2016 and 2017 and all the other updates that are yet to come, Instagram can be very frustrating. And I'm totally in the same boat. I haven't hit my 10K yet. It's a little bit frustrating, but I have found some tips and tricks, if you will, that helped me actually grow in this past month, in the month of March, at a pace I've literally never grown before. So I thought I would come on here and share it with you guys today. So let's get into the first tip. Tip number 1 is content. If your content is trash, no one's gonna wanna follow you. And that is the same for if you have less than 100 posts on Instagram. I receive countless DMs from people that are like, I wanna grow my following, how do I do it? And I look at their page and they have 4 photos and 2 of them are quotes, and it's kind of a mess. So the first thing that you're gonna wanna do to set yourself up for successful Instagram follower catching, make sure you have A1 content. That doesn't mean you need to go out and buy a $1,000 camera, use your freaking iPhone, but you need to step up your content game. Everyone on Instagram is creating beautiful content and you can't get away with half-ass content anymore. So the one thing that you need to do first, before you even think about gaining any kind of follower, is step up your content game. So that means you need to post regularly, you need to have engaging captions, you don't really have to have a theme. I don't know, recommend it. It depends on your niche, but it needs to be a visually appealing grid because Instagram is a visual platform. So the first thing that you need to do is lock down your content. Alright, tip number 2 is community. Oh, it's quite bright. Tip number 2 is community. Now, I'm not saying you need to go out and find 1,000 people that want to be a part of your community and like create a Facebook group and do all this stuff like you would typically think to do when you hear the word community. What you're actually going to want to do is go into a pre-existing community. So let's say you're a fashion blogger and you love Ame Song. You can go into the community she's already grown and interact with her people. Now that could mean liking or commenting or any of that stuff, following them. Get your name on their map, and it's especially great if you already have similar content. A really good way to do this is to like their photos, which is super simple. The mistake that I see a lot of people make when it comes to this is liking only one photo. Now, I don't know about you, but when one person likes one of my photos, I don't take the time to go in and look at their profile unless they have like a really, I guess, spectacular profile picture. But besides that, one person, one like, I don't delve deeper into their page. Pop into a more popular Instagram page in your own niche and interact with their community. Like 6 of their photos, comment if you want, follow if you want, but just make yourself active. Pick 8 people in your niche and spend 10 minutes going through their most recent followers and liking and commenting on their stuff, and do that once an hour for 8 hours a day, which is super simple. If you're in school or you have an extra 10 minutes every single hour, it doesn't take that long and it will help to increase your overall followers, engagement, and it'll help build your community. Alright, so just leaving the gym. It's 11:10. I thought I would pop back on here. We'll do like a back-to-back car tips and talk about our next C of growing 1,000 followers on Instagram. Third is comments. I was never a big believer in comments. I didn't think that commenting on people's stuff would help me in kind of any sort of way until I was introduced to this software called People Map, which I swear by, I love, but I will make a different video on that, going more in depth about it. I've started commenting on 60 people's stuff a day within my community, like we talked about earlier, and it has been increasing my following. So if you think about it, that's 60 people that I comment on a day, and let's say 50% of those people follow back. That's 30 new followers every single day from just going on their profile and genuinely and authentically engaging with them. And that is what is so important on Instagram as a platform, because it's a social platform and a lot of people are treating it not like one, including me, which I've done before, and I've definitely been dinged by Instagram when it comes to that. So comments are the next tip that will help you grow your Instagram following. Last but certainly not least is collaboration. Now, when people say collaboration, when I first heard the term, I was like, how the hell am I gonna collaborate with people in my niche? Like, the people I look up to have like 100K on Instagram. Like, there's no way they're gonna wanna collaborate with me. And then I figured it out. Collaboration doesn't necessarily mean working with people who have thousands and thousands and thousands of more followers than you. They could be people within the same size or lower or a little bit higher than you. It all has to be mutually beneficial. So a really good example of collaboration is story shoutouts. They're very popular right now. They benefit both people because they're opening up to a wider audience. So let's say I had 5K on Instagram and another person that I was collaborating with had 7K on Instagram. They would get opened to my whole 5K audience and I would get opened to their whole 7K audience. And if we have similar niches and pages, the gain for both of us would be pretty high. That is an awesome way to collaborate. Another way is to actually find people in your area to work on projects with, like face to face, because if they see you hanging out with and working with that person more and more, that other person's audience, they're gonna feel like they're gonna know you better and all this stuff, and they're gonna come onto your page and they're gonna interact with your content and they're gonna eventually become some of your biggest fans. So collaboration is totally key when it comes to growing your first 1,000 followers on Instagram. That is it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the first video in an entire Instagram series. This is video number 1, obviously. I didn't post yesterday because it was April Fool's and I didn't want anybody to take this as a joke. You can come back here tomorrow for more Instagram tips and tricks. Like I said, this is all the month of Instagram, where I'll be teaching you all of my kind of behind the scenes hacks, tips, tricks on how I grew my following, my engagement, what's working, what's not working, the algorithm updates, the new, like all of it, all the Instagram jazz, all the Instagram tea that you ever thought you would need. I'll see you tomorrow. Like, subscribe, make sure you leave a comment, join the K team, follow me on Instagram, do all those things. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
G5. The rent's late always, but we don't talk about it. Up late most days, living off the night before.